All right, and we are live, everybody. How are y'all doing? Welcome to
All
the
right.
set here at the Business Temple. What's up, Super Ray?
How you doing, Super Alex? Welcome to this fine and beautiful Sunday. I'm so happy to be with you here at the Business Temple. You have no idea how much life this has given me, and I'm sure that it's going to give many people to come. As you're watching this, as you're enjoying this, please make sure to hit the subscribe button, to go ahead and add us on all the social media accounts at the Business Temple. So, Alex, welcome. Let's do this. What do we have for the audience today? Let's just jump right into it.
Let us
But
jump right
before we do
into
so,
it.
I want to hype some people up. I like playing the music, playing our intro, because it's always fun to have a little music to liven us up, to liven the mood, because that's what we're here all in the Business Temple all about. We're here to have fun and enjoy ourselves. Woo!
Let's go. All right. Start your weekend right with us. We're consistent every single weekend, doing it right and just talking about philosophy, entrepreneurship, and personal development. On today's live episode, we're going to be talking about your circle of champions, specifically who is in your circle of champions. And with that, we're going to be highlighting Black, Hispanic, and Filipino entrepreneurs for you guys to learn more about and for y'all to follow. All
Yeah,
right, let's talk
today I
about
want
that.
everybody to know who these people are, who we are going to be talking about. Some names you might know, some names you might not, but these are the people that we have identified, that we have found to be some great leaders in the business. Because guess what? It's Black History Month, baby. It
Black
is Black
History
History
Month.
Month. And you know what I say to people when it comes to Black History Month, that or people that think, oh, maybe it's Black History Month. I'm not black. Maybe it's not the month for me. Maybe I should skip this one. No, this is for you too. Because you know what? I identify as Black History Month being the month of adversity. The month that we overcome new challenges in our lives, just like our ancestors have. Because African American history is American history. And for all of you that don't know that, you must be living under a rock. And today we are going to celebrate those Black leaders. But at the same time, if you're thinking to yourself, well, what can I learn from Black leaders? I'm not Black, or what can I learn about Hispanic leaders? I can't do that. Don't worry. This show is still for you, because guess what? We all have challenges. We all go through things. And hey, there are many ways to overcome adversity. And this is what we're doing today. Let's go.
I love that, Ray. A month of adversity, huh? Why would you describe it in that way? Black History Month, month of adversity or adversary.
Adverse. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm always dyslexic. I can't really adversity. I describe it that way because we as a society tend to put things in buckets. This is Black, this is white, this is Hispanic, this is
Mm-hmm.
Filipino, this is Asian. Like, we put ourselves in all these different categories and different buckets. And having February, Black History Month, well, one of it is the shortest month of the year. Don't that's just a quick slide, a little joke
Yeah.
there. No, it being Black History Month, February, it's just filled with, uh, I would say, a bit of more controversy. People may not feel like they're being represented or identified, and then uh, we have this entire month to just reflect. And I think this is the best month to do so. It comes right
Yeah.
in at the beginning of the year, in the first quarter, where Black people, you should be feeling empowered. If you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, there's most of our audience are out there listening to us. Let's get this year right. Forget January. If you messed up January, it's okay. Look, we'll start over right now in February, and this is the first week in February right now. It's the first time to do it. This is our first week back in February, so I'm excited. You know.
Hey, second chances make the world go round.
Oh, actually, this is our second week in February. Oh no, this is 11th. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
All good. All
Yeah,
good. We've got, oh man, like
we're live.
there's,
We're live.
yes. And there's a lot of, there's so much things I would love to learn about, especially what you had to say about Black and Hispanic entrepreneurs. And yeah, man, just who did you have in mind?
Oh man, You know what? The thing is, when I was doing research on like Dominican entrepreneurs and the people that I found, they they all tend to be mostly on the athletic side. Like when you think about Dominicans and
Athletic side. Okay.
associating it to wealth, I honestly, well, I'll start with Hispanics first, and then I'll move on to talking about Black entrepreneurs. But when it comes to like Hispanic entrepreneurs, especially when it comes to Dominicans, my people, my race, there's not a lot of us that make over, even cross over the $100,000 mark. Like less than 4% of American Dominicans that live in the United States make over $100,000. So when you think about that number and you think about the opportunities that well, I guess you can have in this country, and a lot of us move here to this country for opportunities to make more money, yet not many of us get to succeed over that threshold. And there's very little or few of us that even have ever crossed that threshold. I myself feel lucky to be in part of the 4%, I would say, in Dominican, for Dominicans. And I am a strong representative of the Dominican people wherever I go. And then with that, you hold a responsibility. You know what they say? It's like, okay, it rests on the shoulders of the people that come before us. And if you are representing a certain culture, a certain race, always try to bring out that positivity. Don't let people live up to those stereotypes, because the Dominican stereotypes, I could go on forever, how they love to drink, party, womanize.
Same with Filipinos.
They're not business owners. I don't think of a Dominican person as an entrepreneur. I think of a Dominican person as a baseball player or a basketball player or something, or someone that is doing, well, in my opinion, labor-intensive work. Someone that's good with their hands, someone that's like a superintendent, but not someone that is actually owning property, sitting back and just bringing in wealth.
That lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, I could say the same about Filipinos as well. We have some pretty weird statistics. We're like cousins, man.
We are.
We're like literally in a sense. You know, we also love to celebrate, party, sing, and dance. Some of our men also like to womanize. So, you know, I feel like that's how you and I get along so well in the show and outside the show. But the thing about, of course, relating it to this episode, as I've been doing research on the Filipino community, specifically Filipino American community, to talk about our entrepreneurs here in the U.S., it turns out that there are not many of us. What I have been looking for specifically, Super Ray, is a Filipino who is not a half Filipino, who is a prominent entrepreneur. Because apparently, I can't say exactly what the percentage of the statistic is, but it's very high that a lot of entrepreneurs here who are Filipino are half Filipino. There are not much who are actually full Filipino.
Well,
that's so weird.
But I get it, Alex. And I think it goes back to the conversation of like putting us in buckets. I mean, if you did find a Filipino that's half Filipino, let's say they're first generation, they were born here. Like, for example, I'm first generation. I was born here. And I consider myself Dominican. I think of myself as being bad, Black American Dominican. That's how I identify. And I think that if they identify themselves also as Filipino, and they actually do things for the culture for Filipinos, they maybe start organizations and do community work.
They do. Yeah, they
do. Consider them Filipino?
I do consider them as Filipino. It's just that it's just different, you know. Especially when it comes to entrepreneurship and representing a culture, you know what I mean? But then, so I was doing all this research and I came across this one person. He's a comedian / entrepreneur. Started off as a comedian, obviously, and his name is J.R. de Guzman. So he's from California. He came from the Philippines, went to California, and then started his comedian career here. And the thing with J.R. de Guzman is what makes him different is that He's a comedian. Obviously, he's making people laugh, but it's the way he makes people laugh. He does it through his jokes while he's playing a song.
Hmm.
So it's just bringing a new, a new flavor to the table. You know what I
That's
mean?
so cool.
That everybody could be entertained from. And I selected Jared Guzman as one of my entrepreneurs that I would like to share today because one, I don't think comedian entrepreneurs are highlighted enough on top of being Asian, Black, or Hispanic. And number
Mhm.
two, being a startup owner, highlighting prominent entrepreneurs is it's a little uncomfortable for me. I would rather highlight these entrepreneurs who, the underdogs,
Hmm.
these up and coming entrepreneurs, these entrepreneurs who you can support, who actually will. This comedian will actually make you laugh, and these entrepreneurs, they they're just different. These startup owners because there's so much character in them. And when you support them, when you help them, you're not helping somebody who's already got a million, 2 million, $3 million in his pocket. You're helping this person who's just starting out, and not only are you helping this person, you extend help to their family too. And yeah, that's what I want to share out there about that.
That's
Who
nice.
should be in your circle of champions?
I mean, I never heard of him. I'm happy you shared this person and his name. I'm definitely gonna try to look up his work and then get to know him a little better and find ways to support.
Yes,
Um,
sir. He has this song. It's called Make America Make Love Again. I can't believe I just sang that live. Oh shit.
Make America make love again. Woo!
Uh-huh.
Maybe that should be the theme for this today's.
I mean, it kind of crossed over well. We've got Circle of Champions, and it's the love month.
Yeah, it is. It is the love month. We got Valentine's Day coming up in a few days.
Yep,
You're coming to New York. Oh, there's so much love to go around.
absolutely.
I'm happy you highlighted uh sorry, let's put his name on the board. Is it
J.R. de Guzman. As a matter of fact,
JR de
yeah, I'll
Guzman?
do that. I'll do that. There you go.
JR de Guzman for everybody out there. For me,
There you go.
I'll highlight somebody not well known that I actually just like as I was doing research, I found out about this particular person whose name that many people may not know, but he seems like a pretty interesting person to understand uh, and work with is Antonio Wells. So Antonio Wells,
Huh.
he he has a he has an article out on this magazine where he speaks about uh, never letting someone who lacks vision stop your vision. So I love that quote. That quote that says, "Oh, if you have a vision, you can't just let somebody stop you from trying." And him in particular, he's a serial entrepreneur.
Love it.
He helped businesses from startup to Fortune 100 companies to grow their brands. And one of his more successful businesses, Namni Not. And the reason I chose him is
Mhm.
because kind of like me, he's also started in like tech. He did SEO work, he does SEM work, and then he started his own marketing agency helping people grow
Nice.
their brands. And in doing so, he was able to become very successful in his field work. And not many people know who he is, Antonio Wells. I say look him up. He's a very interesting person to follow, namely because of his many great characteristics and his ability to just envision companies, grow businesses, and do so for others. And he's also serial entrepreneur, and he's doing it with he did it with no budget. So great person to look up to, and I'm gonna highlight Antonio Wells. That's my guy.
Antonio Wells. How do you spell his last name? I want to put him over in the banner.
All right, I'll put him on.
There you go. Yeah, Jared Guzman, Antonio Wells. These people, uh, underrated, but I have not heard of Antonio Wells. You have not heard of J.R. Guzman. They deserve more awareness out there. So, yeah, follow these people, learn from them, and just find out more. Learn about their journey. As a matter of fact, Ray, as we were doing this episode and I was fleshing out the episode guide and all of that, you know what? You know what inspired me? I've been little by little trying to make a gracious exit from corporate and trying to move into the creative industry, right? As you well know. And suddenly it hit me. I've got, there's all this experience here, all this wisdom and all this insight. Might be a good idea to write a book.
Let's do it. Yeah, you want to go ahead and write a book?
Yeah,
Let's
might
go.
be a good idea to write a friggin' book. I mean, we've got a lot of resources going on right now. A lot of people, I mentioned it to a few people as I was looking for a ghostwriter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then they were like, hey, use AI. I'm like, huh.
Mm.
So I think it's extremely important that, as entrepreneurs, we're documenting our experience. I know one time you wanted to write a book as well, or
Yeah,
don't you still do?
So there was one point where I was literally just writing down pretty much day by day some of the experiences, some of the things that I learned. I recommend people to do that, but there was some point where I stopped. I mean, I enjoy the outcome of the successes that I've created, but there are points where, yes, you have to think about, like, what are you doing with this material? Where are you going with it? Because we can have all the shows that we want. Like, we have a plethora of material. We have so much content. But how do we put that together? And that's where I guess my fault lies. Like, we have all this stuff. We have so much inventory, as you would say. How do we put this together, make it palatable for people that maybe don't want to watch a 30-minute show, don't want to watch an hour-long show. They just want to watch the snippets and just get that main idea across, and then just go back to their lives and say, hey, I felt inspired just because I watched this tiny snippet and achieve that. But to your point, I mean, look, you want to write a book? I'm going to support you 1,000%.
Thank you, brother.
If you want me to keep you accountable, we'll do. There are methods to get people to write books faster, and that is, I think this is the best method that'll work. What if you give me $1,000 a month, at least 1 to 2 pages every week?
I will consider it. Look at this guy, man, making the sales pitch. I do admire the cojones, though, my friend. I just feel like it's so important. Like I said, all entrepreneurs to just document stuff, because, that's the way I learned about, my distant mentors. Some of them I haven't even met, but I was able to immerse through their lives within their pages, within their biographies and all that. In fact, one of my favorite biographies that I wanted to include here, now that we're talking about Circle of Champions and Mentors, is what's that book? Shoe Dog by the owner of Nike. That particular book, that was a very good book.
Shoe Dog.
Yeah.
Is it part? Oh, I think they're making a movie about him. I saw the trailer. It's called Air. When they discovered Michael Jordan and made a shoe around Michael Jordan too. I don't know if that's.
Oh, no way! I didn't know they were making a movie.
They're making a movie called Air.
Shoe Dog, by the author of Phil Knight. That definitely is one of my favorite documents or biographies of entrepreneurship. Which one is yours?
So, I mean, I like the story of Ray Kroc. I like the story. All-time favorite has to be Warren Buffett. I mean, coming from Buffett, yeah, I really look up to him, and him starting from nothing, already knowing, having that drive for sales at an early stage in his life. And you know what that I found as I did some of the research for like the ultra wealthy or people that are well established,
Mhm.
that one commonality that from people that came from nothing to something, they always had a drive or an entrepreneurial spirit within them, that they went out of their way to just make a sale or try to gain money in any way possible. And then when I look back at my story, I'm just like thinking, huh, well, I was a small entrepreneur myself too. I mean, I grew up with nothing here in the United States, and my first business was a little lemonade stand that I put right outside of my apartment, right here where I live in New York, in 175th Street, in that building, and I would sell lemonade for 25 cents, and
No.
then all the money I got from that lemonade, I mean, honestly, maybe I should have invested it to make more lemonade, maybe grow the business a little bit. But
What'd you do with it?
unfortunately, I didn't have that financial literacy, and I took all that money to buy ice cream because my parents at the time, I mean, they couldn't really afford ice cream. Ice cream is a luxury, but I'm
Yeah.
a kid. I love ice cream, and I try to figure out a way to afford it. And so that was my first business, was that lemonade stand when I was 8 years old, right in front of my building, selling it for a quarter, and then trying to get money to buy ice cream.
That's what I'm saying, bro. We have so much. How many stories of that we got? How
Oh,
many personal
tons,
experiences of that we got? Which is why I was
tons.
just so prompted by this episode to just why don't I start a book? You know, it just came to me. I'm like, whoa.
I, bro, like I even in high school, I sold candy on the train. I sold candy in my school, just to make ends meet in order for me to like buy my bacon, egg,
Damn.
and cheeses,
Just to
or,
make ends meet.
to get maybe shoes that I like, bro. I don't know, maybe, yeah. Let's write books, bro. And we'll co-author. Well, I don't want to jump on your idea.
Look, look at Ray, man. Freaking high school making ends meet. You were adulting in high school, bro.
Oh, bro, I've been adulting for a while. I've been adulting for a while. And I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about before, a while back, in the stories of how, I mean, people that grew up for nothing had to become adults much faster than kids.
Yep.
But then what's crazy is that once you have the means and you get older, you try to relive the experience that you never had. So you start buying bullshit like cars or like
Legos.
or Legos. Yes, my addiction is Legos. Yes, I've spent over $300-$400 on Legos because I never had that. And this is why the nostalgic factor, nostalgia, especially nowadays, people are making tons and tons of money. Pokemon cards are going for what? Thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
They are, bro.
It's not because of a piece of cardboard has value. It's that nostalgic feeling that the richer millennials are getting from opening it and not having that experience as a kid, or trying to relive that experience that they had when they were a kid.
Exactly. And you are so right on the thousands of dollars part. You know, if I still had all my Pokemon cards today, oh my gosh, it would be different. It would be real different. But you know what I do want to highlight, Ray, is that I am glad that you are in my circle of champions. I'm very glad. There's just so much value, and another reason why I say that and why I highlight that is because as we close out the show, want to let everybody know that work on your circle of champions as well. You know, and I personally coined these people as my circle of champions because all of them are, number one, smarter than me, number two, work harder than me, and number three, they just had so much value in life, and the value that they add circulates. And what that means is no matter how much value they put out, they never run out of value within themselves. That's how powerful. They are, and for me, those are the factors. To be in my circle of champions, you got to be smarter than me, you got to work harder than me, and you got to provide that's a type where it swings both ways.
Hmm.
So
Well, Alex,
that's my advice on that part.
You're in my circle of champions too.
Oh,
I mean, you are a big part of like my life, my girlfriend's life, our lives, and even the cat's life. No, and when I think of like the circle of champions, is the people that are, I would tier them up in that sense. The people that are close to you, the family, the people that are that bring you up, that are in your life, that are lifting you, not the family members that are just berating you, putting you down, shitting on your ideas or whatever. The tier one of friends that are around you, that surround you, that help you, and then the family. The tier two being the friends. The tier three being the outside influences. So it being people that you look up to, and the stories that you hear that inspire you. And those people may not necessarily know who you are. Try reaching out to them. That's my thing. There's LinkedIn. There's always a way to reach out. But those people are the people that affect us, because, hey, Alex, we're here on YouTube. We don't know some of the people that might be watching us.
right.
And the people that may watch us can feel inspired, but we don't know we've made that impact on them. But we're still making an impact. So even if we fall on that like third tier, we're still doing something in order to help. And I think going back to like circles of champions and talking about race and entrepreneurs, know that there are people out there. There are people like myself and Alex. We're entrepreneurs, and I mean, we have jobs as well, and
yes, we do.
We make it work. We try to influence as much as we can. We don't need the billions and millions of dollars to make an impact. So this is one thing I want to say about people of color and people of race. You don't need to be super wealthy to make a change or make an impact. You can do so right now by making videos and helping and sharing your knowledge. Because I think knowledge is the most powerful thing anybody can have. Information is the most powerful thing anybody can own. And
absolutely.
And I think that it's feasible. If you're Black, Hispanic, and Filipino, Asian, do what you can to find something to do something that you love, and then make sure to give back through education.
I love that. I love that. I think I want to end it with just stand together. Let's all just stand together. Have a united front. Collaborate. Collaboration trumps the competition. I say that all the time. Have someone in your circle of champions like Ray or myself who will have your back no matter what, keep you accountable no matter what. And it's just an all-around awesome person to be around. To take your circle of champions seriously. It does not have to be a big circle. It can just be a few people, can just be 3 of you in there. But then those 3 are worth 30 people. They're worth 10 people each. They have the strength of 10 men, the betterment of 10 men, So when it comes to your circle of champions, I feel like one of my strongest tools for success has been drawing energy, knowledge, love, wisdom, and just all around greatness from my own circle of champions. So find that. It's still early in the year. If you have it, nurture it. You're blessed. Realize that you are blessed. Nurture that as much as you can. And, just continue building that. Continue building your circle of champions. And go for underrated businesses out there. Support your startups.
Support them.
Support your startups.
Help one another. Build those communities, because damn, there's so much I want to say. I don't know. Are we ending the show now? I kind of want to keep going.
Go ahead. Keep going then, man. Go.
Because I do have another person I do want to highlight. And then there's other things I do want to talk about. There's so many things that I have that I want to discuss outside of just understanding like who you are as a ethnic person or a minority in this country, and the things that you can achieve and accomplish. One person I did want to highlight, he has pretty famous. He's pretty well known, but might not be known to the extent of, let's say, larger entrepreneurs or big real estate developers for that matter, like Donald Trump. But Don Peebles, he is kind of like the Donald Trump of real estate. So Don Peebles, I've heard about him a while ago. I watched a YouTube video about this guy. He is a real estate developer in New York who is building one of the largest towers here. He's worth about 700 million from what's reported. He's almost hitting the $1 billion mark. But his message has always been supporting Black communities, supporting Black entrepreneurs, letting them know that there's more than just sports that you can do to develop wealth. And his way and his route is developing wealth through real estate, tangible assets. And he started off in humble beginnings, and then became one of the most powerful men in America, and then one of the most powerful businessmen in America, and all through doing real estate, starting off with just $600 in his pocket, taking out home loans, and then building from there. So I think, yeah, he's a really good person to know, to follow, to understand and learn from, especially if you're into real estate. Is one of the not the easiest, but the fastest way to grow wealth if you're doing it right. If you know what you're doing, if you're following the proper steps, it's great to learn from Don Peebles. His name is right here on the side.
There you go. All right, follow and learn from Don Peebles. We've got Jared Guzman, Antonio Wells, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, Warren Buffett, and Don Peebles. I love it.
I don't want to highlight Warren Buffett. This is Black.
We did. Well, we talked about him earlier.
We can also talk about Damian Johns, Fubu. He founded Fubu.
I follow that guy on LinkedIn.
He's on Shark Tank as well. God. So
yeah,
he's known now for like Shark Tank. I mean, if you weren't born in like the rap era of the dynasties of the 90s, what launched his career, he was an entrepreneur too. I read one of his stories. Like, yeah, he attests his success for him selling pencils in his classroom to students that needed pencils. And I forgot my pencil plenty of times. So imagine creating that hustle when you're young, and to build a multi-million-dollar empire and a multi-billion-dollar portfolio from his capital, from his investments in Shark Tank. He's a great person to also highlight. Damian John. Fubu became a huge success because when Black people never really had a brand. So like Rockaware too, but Fubu was really the brand that you wear because you saw it on so many music videos, and that's what he knew right away. That was his vision. He tied that culture, hip hop, and branded himself with that particular segment, and became super successful there.
I follow you on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I want to talk more about just Damian John too, but I just want to leave it there. I do want to mention a bit about like Shark Tank and him being a venture capitalist, because one of the reasons why minorities, Black people, Hispanic people, Filipino people, Asian people, is because there isn't enough support there. I feel that if you look at the statistic, all the venture capitalist money, that's money that's raised, that's VC money that's given to corporations to grow. That's when, okay, I'll take equity and bring your business to XYZ. 98% of it is given to white men and white people, and only 1.8%, according to a couple of resources I found, because I want to make sure if you guys look back, I'm not just pulling these numbers out of my ass. So in Diversity VC, they say only 1.87% of the $301 billion held in 200 venture capital funds have been allocated to start off with diverse leaders, meaning Black, Hispanics, and everybody else. Only 1.87%.
1.87. Gosh.
And when you think of these multi-billion-dollar companies and these companies that grow to be huge successes, they're all funded by VC capital money. And if you have a great business idea and it's thriving, but you need more help, the chances of you getting that help are slim. It just doesn't happen for people like us, and this is why it's hard for us to find more entrepreneurs. It's hard for us to get to a level where, hey, guess what? The barrier to entry is much higher, and it's almost impossible to reach. You have better chances of, like, I even had this conversation with my girlfriend. You have better chances of becoming a football player or joining the MLB because you have a better chance of becoming a multimillionaire if you're a Hispanic person trying to get into baseball than actually starting a business.
It's a cutthroat game out there, and dog eat dog in entrepreneurship. But hey, we out here, and we're making it happen.
Yeah.
And hopefully a lot of y'all who will listen and look back get inspired from everything that Ray and I have to say. Every single weekend, we are consistent here at the Business Temple, just talking about not only philosophy and entrepreneurship, but in some episodes, we have special themes like this one for Black History Month, Circle of Champions, and just go back and go make sure that your Circle of Champions are taken care of. And just if you don't have one, I guarantee you it is one of the most important things that you can have in your career as an entrepreneur. I feel like if it was just me,
we're here. What are you talking about? We're here.
Well, that's true. I feel like if I was a solopreneur, I would not. I don't know how solopreneurs make it. Y'all gotta let me know how y'all do it.
Yeah, write down in the comments. Like, if you are an entrepreneur, I want to hear from you. Honestly, yeah, write down in the comments. We would love to hear from you, and that goes to all of our listeners who's out there. Tell us your stories. We want to highlight some of these stories. People that may not be well known, but are successful in their crafts and just need more exposure. And we are looking to expand in that space. We're looking to interview entrepreneurs, people that may not be super well known, but are successful in their business. I mean, I do want to leave with a final thought. I do want to make sure that everybody understands, like, don't let the color of your skin, don't let your ethnicity, don't let yourself be fooled to think that, hey, I'm not achieving this certain level of success just because I'm this race, I'm this color. The statistics are all against me. The odds are not in my favor. But guess what? That's what superhero movies are all made of, because nothing is impossible until it's achieved. And I forgot who said that quote, but it's true. Until you see someone achieve it, until you see someone do it, like, nobody believed that we would ever have a Black president. And look look what happened. We had a Black president. People can look. I mean, it took a very long time, don't get me wrong, but it's not impossible until it's achieved. And there are people that have achieved it. It doesn't mean that just because you haven't achieved it yet, it doesn't mean that you can't do it. And color, skin be darned. Just keep going, keep fighting. Because look what happened to Oprah Winfrey. They denied her. What was it? She was told no several times for her show, and they'll say she was unfit for television. That she was unfit for television news. That's the direct quotes. And then she became the only Black woman in history to become a billionaire, $2.5 billion dollars, aside from, I think, the only other person is Beyonce, who is up there as well in the $1 billion range.
Anything's possible, especially in our industry, in entrepreneurship. We love it. It's crazy, but we love it. And Ray, that was such a great thing to say towards the end of the show. And I just want to end it with you. Anything is possible. That, like what Ray said, doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. Put your mind onto it. Make the right moves. Get it done. Anything is possible. So thank you. Woo! That was freaking amazing. Woo! Thank you, everybody.
Black History Month.
Yes, sir. Woo! Yes, sir. Thank you all for joining us here at the Business Temple. Black History Month. As much as you can, get to know the entrepreneurs that we talk about. Get to know all the other underdogs out there. Educate yourself. And of course, hop on the Business Temple every Saturday, 9 a.m. PT, 12 p.m. ET. We are out here on the set making episodes, producing fresh episodes for you weekly on the topics of entrepreneurship, philosophy, and personal development. Go ahead, Super Ray. You got any other words?
Well, I'm just. What you like to see, what you like us to talk about, and as always, pleasure to be here. Love you, Super Alex. I'm gonna see you some